peeps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drusilla if you don't know already, and today we are going to be talking about a topic that if you've ever had a protective style before, you have probably experienced this, and that is itchiness during a protective style. Now we're going to get into some causes as well as some solutions, so let's just get right into it. Okay, so my first piece of advice before we even get into the causes and all those things is that if you are having an itchy scalp right now, it can be very tempting to scratch your scalp, especially scratching with your nails, and it feels like it brings so much relief, and it's just like, oh, this is like hitting the spot. No, girl, stop yourself. When you are scratching your scalp when it is itchy, it can lead to flaking, it can lead to cuts in your scalp when you are using your nails. Try to avoid that by either
pat your weave, ladies, pat your weave.
I know it has been said many times before, this will save your scalp. And if you don't want to pat your scalp, you can use the front of your finger to massage that itchy part so that you're not using your actual nail. Sometimes I'm like this, rubbing my scalp. I'm not scratching my scalp with my nails. So like I said, I know you want to do it, but try to stop yourself because it might lead to more damage than good. It might be a little too aggressive for your scalp, and especially if you have just gotten your hair done and your scalp is very, sensitive and it's super fresh. You don't want to do that, okay? Because I've done that before and I've caused several cuts on my scalp before, several scabs, and it was all from scratching my scalp when it was newly done. Also, you just don't want to cause additional flaking. We'll get into that a little bit more later, but essentially it can cause flaking or more flaking, and when you have a protective style in, you definitely do not want the flakes, because when it's everywhere, it turns into like a snowstorm, okay? You looking like Snow White all up in the scalp. You don't want that. It's one of those things that it's hard to get rid of once it's there, like the damage kind of is already done, and the only way to really get rid of it is by washing it out for the most part. So you just don't want to put yourself in that situation, okay? I've been in it. We're not gonna do that to ourselves. All right, so a potential cause for our scalp getting itchy while it's in a protective style is simply that it is dry. Our scalp needs some loving, okay, and it feels like it's being deprived. Now think about when it's like winter time. If you've ever experienced this, and sometimes you get like really dry hands or really dry patches on your skin, and it gets very uncomfortable and it gets very itchy. Why? Because it is dry, okay? It's the Sahara Desert. It's cracking all up in there. Our scalp is also skin. The same kind of irritation happens. And so sometimes our scalp is just really looking for a moisturizer. And a lot of times when our hair is in a protective style, we have a tendency to just leave it be.
Okay, it's in a protective style. I don't need to take care of it. I don't need to add anything.
No, you do. It is very important to still take care of our hair while it is in a protective style. Definitely take care of your scalp by getting ahead of it and having like a maintenance schedule. You don't have to wait until your scalp feels extremely dry and itchy before you put in product. I decide to stick to lighter weight products when I have protective styles in, and I would recommend that you do that as well, because we don't want to deal with a whole bunch of product buildup, which can also lead to an itchy scalp. You want something that's very lightweight, something that's more of like a daily moisturizer, something you can put in every few days, or something that you can spray in, because if you are putting in anything heavy, it's not going to look too cute in the scalp very soon. If you have a lightweight moisturizer, then that's not going to be an issue. Now, something that I recommend is Girl in Hair. This is not sponsored. I have worked with the brand before, but even before I've worked with the brand, I've vouched for the brand. This is their Refresh product that I use on my scalp. At this point, when I get like braids and twists and stuff, I'm always gonna use Girl in Hair. Like, I use Girl in Hair also when I don't have protective styles in, but definitely when I do, I'm always reaching for my Girl in Hair products because they're lightweight, they're really refreshing. I love the fact that I can use this literally like every day or every other day. It has a nice cooling effect. So I would definitely say, products like these are very good because the consistency, let me pour it out for you guys, is like so it's light. It's like dripping. It's not like a grease, so I can use it very often, and my scalp always feels good after that. So you can have like a maintenance schedule where you're on top of it. Don't be reactive, be proactive. Okay, when you're dealing with an itchy scalp, it is uncomfortable, but in certain cases it is extremely uncomfortable. There was a time when I have experienced itching like never before during a protective style, and I wanted to just rip my hair out. It was just so itchy. But the only thing that would relieve me in those moments is using or applying products that have tea tree or peppermint in them. When you are dealing with like real itchiness, those ingredients are like heaven on earth. It's like Jesus himself. The hem of his garment doesn't touch my scalp, because the feeling is so relieving, and that's definitely something you want to have on hand when you have a protective style. And it really helps if you have a product that it's not too thick and it can easily enter into your scalp, especially if it's in a nozzled bottle. You are doing yourself a favor, because there are some places that are hard to reach. Okay, when it comes to box braids, it's fairly easy to reach your scalp, but some situations like cornrows, you cannot always easily reach certain areas. So that's why having a nozzled bottle is so great, and also like avoiding products that are so thick that they can't reach a certain part. That's why these things are good. You can even do a whole mixture by yourself. You can get natural peppermint oil and tea tree, but just remember that these oils are very strong. You don't want to be putting them directly into your hair if you're using them in its natural state. You want to mix them with carrier oils or mix them with some sort of leave-in spray, because they're very, very strong. Okay, so number 4, a lot of the times the reason why we can get itchy scalps from protective styles is because if we are adding additional hair, we could actually be reacting to that hair. Not every brand of hair is the same. Not every person is going to take well to every brand of hair. So if your protective style includes additional hair, like how this includes, you know, additional hair, this is not all my hair, then there is a chance that you could be allergic to it. Sometimes there's certain chemicals and things that are used in the process of getting this hair ready to be sold that definitely can affect us. That is why a lot of people actually take to washing their extensions and braiding hair before they apply it, especially if they have a sensitive scalp. So if you're one of those people who have a very sensitive scalp, or you just see a trend where it's like every time I braid my hair, it's really itchy. Every time I use extra hair, it's really itchy. You might want to look into, you know, washing your hair. Some people do like a little apple cider vinegar wash. There is actually pre-rinsed or pre-washed hair out there. I personally haven't tried it out, but I've been wanting to, because there was a time where my scalp was so itchy, I almost took my hair out, and I really didn't have it in for that long. And I knew that there was some type of chemical in there, because my hair was also leaving residue on like my pillowcases and stuff. So I knew that something was up with the hair, and I knew I was reacting to something that they had put in the hair. So just know that sometimes it's not you or like your scalp is dry. Sometimes it's the hair that we add that we don't take too well to. And last but not least, a cause for itchy scalps and protective styles, the simple fact that our hair has expired. All right, there will be people out there who tell you,
Yeah, I keep my protective styles in for 3 months, 4 months.
that works for them, but like that may not work for you. It definitely doesn't work for me. Let's just say that sometimes our scalp is simply just dirty. Okay, it got built up, it got last night's dinner in it. Our scalp is just looking for a refresh. If there's a lot of product in it, if there's a lot of dirt in it, your scalp is just harboring all this bacteria, and it needs air, and it needs water, and it needs shampoo to feel refreshed, to be refreshed. Definitely look at the shelf life of your hairstyle and see, you know, what timeline we looking at. I am not going to make a general statement about when to wash your hair during a protective style. It really depends. There's so many factors that go into it. It depends on the style. It depends on how long you've already had it in. It depends on a lot of things. So I cannot say in general that like if you have protective style and it's dirty, you should wash it with the protective style in. Sometimes it's going to require you taking it out and starting fresh. But for some people, you can definitely wash your hair in a protective style. I've done it before. I just recommend you don't do it too much. Sometimes it's not even that you've had your protective style in for super long, but sometimes you might just be using the wrong products that are very heavy, products that are clogging your scalp, and it just needs a refresh. So Girl in Hair also carries a whole line of products. They have apple cider vinegar rinse, they have another cleanser. I would recommend, if you have stuff like box braids, if you want to wash your hair while having those styles, you should look into their line. Alrighty peeps, so that is it. This is not everything. There are so many things that can cause itchy scalps during protective styles, and there are also so many solutions. However, these are the things that I'm most familiar with. These are the solutions that I would recommend. You might have to do some trial and error to narrow down what exactly is causing the itchy scalp. Let me know down below what y'all feel in the comments box about these tips. It's not a one size fits all. Some people have health issues that cause their scalps to like flake and be itchy, so it's definitely not always going to apply to individuals who are dealing with it on a more medical level. However, I'm sure these tips will be helpful for somebody out there, I hope. Definitely sound off in the comments about what you think and some solutions that you may have for itchy scalp. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please also do not forget to subscribe before you leave, because I'm clocking you. And also, please go ahead and turn on that bell notification button so that when I post, you will be up to date. God bless you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.